What is up? What is up? What is up? What is up, awesome people of the internet? Happy Sunday, guys. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and talk about some women's basketball. So, guys, today is the day. It is Selection Sunday. We are going to have our very, very special Selection Sunday check-in before the selections are actually made, which will happen in about an hour and 30 minutes from now. And guys, this is like very, 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 very exciting times for women's basketball because all the marbles is on the line right now. We don't have that much time. It is win or go home. March Madness is officially about to start. Now, for those who don't know, I do just want to give you all just a little bit of backstory, just so y'all can have a better understanding of like what is going on. If this is your first time really, really paying attention to March Madness for the women. Also, one thing to know is that Selection Sunday is today for the men as well. They have a selection special that I believe is going on actually right now. So, from the likes of UConn to LSU to South Carolina to USC to UNLV and others, D1 programs all over the country have fought very hard over the last week or so to get one of the 32 automatic qualifying bids for the NCAA tournament. Now, for those who don't know, there are 68 spots for grabs for the NCAA tournament. And 32 of those are made up from automatic bids through the conference tournaments. There are 32 conferences in the NCAA for women's college basketball, and all 32 had tournaments. Some actually just finished today, and those 32 bids are all set to go. So I do want to just walk through that list with you all, just so you know off top the 32 teams who are like going to for sure be in the NCAA tournament. So I do want to just walk through that real quick. All right, actually, before I do that, I just want to see some of y'all comments. What's up, Nolan? Nolan says, "Let's go, fam." I mean, it's time. It's time, Nolan. It's time for women's basketball, for women's college basketball to shine on the biggest of stages. Y'all, these dogs are just playing. Stop. Okay. I just walk these dogs and now they acting crazy. They acting crazy now. All right. RC says, but Quita, the men go first and then the women do. Yeah, you're right about that. Well, you're right in terms of the selection. Mr. President, stop. All right. Travis says, I've been waiting for March Madness since December. I mean, yeah, like we all have. We all have been waiting for today. And guys, if you all are hopping in, I would ask that you could please hit that like button. That would be fantastic and will help more people find the channel. Thank you so much for all the folks who have hopped in already, posting in the chat. Let me know, guys, what your predictions are off top. Who do you think is actually going to make it in terms of getting a bid for the NCAA tournament? All right. So I do want to just go through this real quick. So right here, you can see on the screen, you can see the automatic qualifiers. So again, there are 32 conferences in the NCAA, and all 32 conferences had tournaments. Some just ended today. And those teams are automatically in. So I do want to let you all know from what conferences what teams are in. So for the American East, Maine actually won their tournament. The Maine Black Bears, they were pretty good in their conference this season, and they did win it all. They are 10-13. For all time in the America East title game. So shout out to Maine. Those lady Black Bears did it again and have made it to the NCAA tournament. For the American Athletic Conference, we have Rice, who made it. Rice is one of those surprises, I would say. I would say Rice is a huge surprise. So I'm not sure how aware of the American Athletic Conference you all are, but Rice was not that great of a team. They were a number 10 seed in their conference tournament, and they made an epic run to win it all. They beat East Carolina. The game was 61-49. They are the lowest seed ever. That is Rice is the lowest seed ever in the American championship to ever win it all. So yeah, this is a big deal. This is a big deal for Rice. Going on to the Atlantic 10, we have Richmond. The Richmond, I believe their mascot is the Spiders, I believe. They didn't make it all the way to win the championship game. They were they were the best team in the conference this season. They continued their success from the regular season, and they made it all the way to the championship. This time around for the ACC, you all probably watched that game. It was a big one. Notre Dame did win against NC State to win the ACC Conference Championship. If we go to the ASUN Conference, Florida Gulf Coast did their thing. Florida Gulf Coast has just been a very, very good team in the ASUN Conference for a very, very long time. And once again, they have won the conference championship for the ASUN Conference. For the Big 12, we had Texas, who beat Iowa State. Now, this game, I assume some of y'all probably watched this game. This was a really, really big game. Iowa State brought their freshmen out, and they just couldn't do nothing. Well, they could do stuff, but they couldn't defeat Texas's defense, and that was just all that really was what it was. It was defense and a girl named Madison Booker who did her thing, and Texas is the Big 12 conference tournament champions. All right, guys, I'm just going to quickly go down the list because I know there's a lot of teams that y'all have probably never heard of or anything. So I do just want to give y'all just a little bit of context as we get into it. And I know some of y'all have probably never heard of these squads, but hopefully y'all stick with me and we can kind of get through it and then get to the teams that y'all probably know. Moving on to the Big East. For the Big East, of course, it's not a surprise. UConn wins again. They won with 7 players, or basically, they basically won on a 6-man rotation. If you don't know, Aaliyah Edwards did break her nose, and so she did not play in the semifinals or championship game for UConn, and it didn't matter much. They still won. So did their thing on basically a 6-man roster, though technically they did play 7 players in that game. For the Big Sky, Eastern Washington did their thing and won the conference championship. I mean, yeah, Georgetown has been pretty good this season, but yeah, Eastern Washington was like, nah, we got this. We got this victory for Big Sky. This was their first Big Sky tournament title for Eastern Washington. They are in the NCAA tournament. All right, moving on to the Big South, we had Presbyterian, who won their conference championship. Going to the Big Ten, Iowa won their conference championship. You all probably saw that game. They did beat Nebraska in a very, very nail-biter of a game. Moving on to the Big West, it was UC versus UC, and UC Irvine came out on top, making their entrance into the NCAA tournament. All right, moving on to the CAA conference, we saw that Drexel, they were able to make it in, winning their conference championship. For Conference USA, it really has all been about Middle Tennessee. Middle Tennessee has been dominating for a while now, and of course, they won their conference championship. For the Horizon League, we saw Green Bay win their conference championship as well. That is for the Horizon League. That championship game was about a week or so ago. But yeah, Green Bay is doing their thing, and they are in the NCAA tournament. All right, going on to the Ivy League, we saw Princeton have, I would say, a very convincing win against Columbia at Columbia's home in the Ivy League tournament. The Ivy League tournament was hosted at Columbia, and Princeton came in there like, yep, we're going to close this one out. And it has kind of really hurt Columbia's chances of actually getting a bid in the NCAA tournament, because Princeton does get that automatic bid, and they probably will be the only Ivy League team in the NCAA tournament. More on Columbia in actually just a sec. In the MAC conference, the MAAC, we saw Fairfield, the mid-major darlings. They won their conference championship, which is very helpful because if they didn't, I don't know if they would have actually made the NCAA tournament. Yes, they are technically ranked number 25 in the country, but I don't think they make it if they didn't win their conference championship. And then for the MAC conference, MAC, we saw Kent State win their conference championship, and they are in for the NCAA tournament. For the MEAC, Norfolk State, Diamond Johnson is continuing to do her thing with Norfolk State, and they did win their conference championship to make it to the NCAA tournament. So yeah, we will see Diamond Johnson in the NCAA tournament. All right, guys, I'm gonna take a quick break to just shout out Bluter's Bunch. Shout out Bluter's Bunch because they are reminding everybody to don't forget to join the ESPN Bracket Challenge. We do have a group for the awesome people of the internet, so I hope you all join that. If you want the link to that, you can just go to my communities tab, and you can go right there and be able to watch or be able to join the bracket challenge. It is on my communities page. I will see real quick if I can. I'm gonna see if I can go grab that link and drop it in here for you. But guys, we are just running through the list of where things stand right now and the 32 teams that are confirmed, because I know there's a lot of talk about some of the big programs, which is great. However, not everybody knows some of the other schools that will be in the NCAA tournament. Guys, I just dropped that link, so if y'all want to join, you absolutely can. I hope you all do join. Because we will have some sort of prize of sorts for the winner who actually gets the closest. There will be a merch line dropped in the next couple of weeks, and we'll see about getting the winner some exclusive swag from Quita Loves Sports. All right. Also, guys, if y'all hit that like button, that would be fantastic. We are just going down the list. This is not going to take that much longer, so I know your patience is greatly appreciated. We're just going to go down the list of the other teams that have automatic qualifying, and then we're going to get into who else, the 36 other teams who may or may not make it into the NCAA tournament. All right, moving on to the Mountain West, we saw UNLV continue to do their thing. They have been on top of the Mountain West Conference for all season, and they got the job done in their conference tournament. For the Northeast Conference, it was Sacred Heart who did their thing and won in the championship game. For Ohio Valley Conference, we saw UT Martin, get the dub and be able to make it into the NCAA tournament. For the Pac-12, of course, we had USC. Some of y'all probably watched that game. We saw USC, show that they are here for the Pac-12. This is not just a conference of Stanford and UCLA and everybody else. Nah. USC is here. University of Southern California is here. And they showed y'all that they mean some business. And they got some Ivy League girls on their team. And I think that's a huge that's been a huge boost to this team. more on Ivy League and where some of the current Ivy League players may go next year later. All right, for the Patriot League, Holy Cross made it to the NCAA tournament, winning their conference tournament. For the SEC, of course, we had another SC, this time University of South Carolina, who won against LSU. We all saw that crazy game from last week, that raucous game from last week. But yeah, they did make it when they won in the SEC, and they made it to fight another day. Though it didn't matter, they would have made it anyway and still have been a number 1 seed. But bragging rights, you won the conference tournament. For the Southern Conference, we saw Chattanooga get the dub and make it forward for their conference. For the Southland Conference, we had TAMU Corpus Christi, who was able to make it. In the SWAC, we saw Jackson State just continuing to do their thing. More on Jackson State actually in a sec. I actually briefly watched a good portion of that game yesterday in their championship game, and I thought that their coach had some really, really valid points to say in terms of seeding for the NCAA tournament. So we're going to get more into Jackson State in just a sec. In the Summit League, we saw South Dakota State make it all the way and win their conference tournament. In the Sun Belt, we saw Marshall. In the West Coast Conference, we saw Portland, which was a surprise. Yes, absolutely big surprise that that Portland was able to win the conference tournament. Because the reason why I say that is because I hope you guys remember the team that's in the West Coast Conference. It's Gonzaga. Gonzaga was the original team that has they're the original team that was a mid-major darling, and now it's yeah, they lost. they lost in their tournament, which was kind of amazing. So yeah, Portland did come out of the West Coast Conference on top. And then for the WAC, we have Cal Baptist, who won that. All right. Yeah, my girl says Stony Brook was upset by Drexel. Yes, yeah. That game was earlier today, and they were upset. There actually was some other games that happened today, including like a crazy buzzer beater shot that got them the dub. So I'm just saying, guys, we have had some fantastic games. It was the Drake game. It was Drake versus Missouri State, and it was a last minute bucket. And it was a fire layup at the buzzer. Ball hit the back of the rim, eventually went in, and that was straight up fire. Anyway, I hope you guys appreciated that sort of recap of all of the teams that have automatically qualified for the NCAA. If y'all did like it, I would very much appreciate it if y'all hit that like button. That would be absolutely fantastic. I know that there's a lot of teams in the NCAA tournament, and there's a lot of teams that we don't talk about, right? There's a lot of teams that we don't talk about, and I do want to make sure to give these teams their proper due. You know, there really was some phenomenal games on today. There were some phenomenal women's basketball games on yesterday, the day before, and the day before, and the day before. I know a lot of times we get caught up on the bigger names, which is great. You know, we talk about, the Power Five all the time, right? And that's important because the Power Five, there are some great schools that play in the Power Five, some great schools. But at the same time, I do think it's important for us to also talk about some of the other programs as well. So if y'all did like that, please hit that like button. Woo! All right. Shout out to Bean Up. Thank you so much for the super chat. Bean Up says, thanks for all the women's basketball coverage. LSU and Mora all the way, hoping for a South Carolina rematch. I mean, I would be down for a South Carolina LSU rematch. I would be down for that. I would absolutely be down for that. Charlie 19 says, thanks for making this year's tourney a lot more informative and fun. No problem. This is what I am here for, you know? Gotta spread the knowledge and love around women's basketball. Cause that's what we here for, y'all. That is what we here for. JB says, hey, Quita and awesome people of the internet. This is so bittersweet. Been looking forward to this time all year. But that means the season is almost over. Yeah, it does mean the season is almost over, but the end of women's college basketball starts the beginning of the WNBA. So like, I mean, it's a win-win. It's a win-win in my opinion. It's a win-win. So yeah, that's, you know, I think that's something that's important to say. This is a win-win for us. Shout out to my girl. Thank you so much for the super sticker. The super sticker is a lemon character doing a victory dance with maracas in his hands. Okay. I'm just imagining like, thank you so much, my girl, for the super sticker. All right. So I do want to talk about, where things stand right now. So we do have 32 teams that are already in the hat. They already will have a spot in the NCAA tournament, but there are some other teams. There are 36 other teams that it's still to be determined. And guys, let's kind of talk about those right now. So I did want to specifically talk about the Jakari says, why don't you cover some men's college basketball? I mean, this channel is all about women's college basketball. That's, you know, that's what this channel is all about. I have no problem with men's college basketball. I have no problem with men's basketball at all. I just don't cover it on the channel. Same for soccer, same for football, same for tennis. I just don't. That doesn't mean I don't like it. I just don't. So there's lots of Jakari. There are a lot of other channels on YouTube that do cover men's basketball. So if that is something that you are interested in, you could just search on YouTube, and I'm sure you'd be to find some really good coverage of men's college basketball. But that is not what this channel is right now. And actually, that's not what this channel ever will be. This channel is exclusively for women's basketball. All right. All right. So selections start at my time, 7 p.m. So 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, I should say. All right. So I do want to talk about the on the bubble teams, right? I want to talk about the on the bubble teams. So here's what we got. Now this is courtesy of Charlie Cream and ESPN. Of course, this is not for sure. This is just what they think, right? This is just what they think. So according to this, we have the last 4 byes will be Maryland, Michigan, Miami, and Auburn. The last 4 in, so that means the last teams that will have a spot in the NCAA tournament will be Marquette, Texas A&M, Vandy, and Arizona. The first 4 out, so that means the first 4 teams that will not make it, they're just sort of like this close, but not there. We have Mississippi State, Penn State, Washington State, and Columbia. And then the next 4 out, so the other teams that just missed it as well are Cali, Villanova, Washington, and St. Joseph's. Now, with this, I don't have much of an issue with it. I think there is a lot of teams that, you know, could have an argument, right? Mississippi State has not had a bad year. I mean, sure, they lost some games, but overall they've been pretty decent this season. Washington State also has been pretty decent this season. Columbia has been very good in their conference. And I just think that it's 68 teams. It is 68 teams that can make it, and there's going to be teams that you like. And there's going to be teams that you're like, oh man, how could they not make it? They're such a good squad, That's going to happen. And I think it's just the way the game works. It's the way the game works, and we have to, it is what it is. It is what it is. Eugene says, will you follow the women's NIT? I will. I will follow the women's NIT. So if you all are interested in knowing about what's happening in the women's NIT, I will be covering it. All right. There was a particular moment that I wanted to talk about, and it was from Columbia's coach. So Columbia is a program that is trying to make their way in the NCAA tournament. It is a losing battle. I don't believe they're going to get in because they just don't have the resume to get in, right? We take a look at their resume that they posted on social media, and sure, it's a good resume. However, it's not enough. That's the thing. It is not enough. So for Columbia, they have been very good for this season. They only lost 6 games this season. They lost 1 game in their conference play, which was great, right? They had a good season. They're right. They say on their resume, no bad losses. That's right. They haven't had any bad losses per se. But also, I don't think they've done enough to get entry into the NCAA tournament. So some of the games they lost a very, very, very narrow game to Duke earlier this season. They lost to Georgia. They lost to Florida. They beat Villanova, which was good. And the rest of the games are really just in conference play. So when you look at mid-major teams, the tough part is you're running up against the behemoth of the Power 5 schools. And even though you have a better record than them, it's just not enough because you're a mid-major school and you play primarily other mid-majors. So there is nothing, sure, you don't have bad losses, but also it's hard to put them above other Power 5 programs who have a worse schedule, but has played stiffer competition, I would say. Yeah, so I think that's something that you have to contend with. Like it sucks for mid majors, absolutely sucks for mid majors, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I did also want to. There was a specific clip that I saw from her, and I wanted to specifically talk about it. So let me just actually give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna pull it up real quick, and we're gonna get into it. All right, so all right, so let's actually let's get into this. Oh wait, what happened to? Okay. All right. So I do want to play what Columbia's coach had to say. So the post says, "Dear NCAA Selection Committee, grow the game for mid-majors everywhere." And here is what coach of Columbia had to say.
I hope you're listening. I hope whoever's watching this We won 21 of our last 23 games. We won 11 straight heading into this. We beat Princeton when they were ranked top 25 in the country. We did everything we could to build a resume. We played teams and with a new team. We had 7 graduating seniors last year. We completely rebuilt a roster. We shared the regular season championship with Princeton 2 years in a row, who's a tournament team that's proven to win games in the NCAA tournament. We were the first team out essentially last year. And we go to the final of the WNIT against Kansas, at Kansas. We're being penalized for needing to schedule games when people don't want to play us. There's no other mid-major teams even on the bubble or in the conversation for the bubble. What are we doing to grow the game? The NCAA talks about wanting to grow the game. And if we just consistently put SEC teams in that are 17 or 15 and 14, and we've been competitive every single loss. Duke, who actually came to play us, we lost by 4. That was a possession game. We lost at Princeton, obviously. Stony Brook's about to win the CAA tomorrow, going to the NCAA tournament. And then our 2 competitive losses against Florida and Georgia in the Bahamas on neutral court.
All right, so that is their argument. That is Columbia's argument for getting in the NCAA tournament. So the tough part is, yes, I absolutely want mid-majors to have a chance. But it's hard because the competition level is different, right? It's very, very different when you look at the Ivy League versus the SEC. So while certain SEC programs have lost a sizable amount of games in comparison to Columbia, their net is better. Their net is better, and that's something that you have to contend with. That is something you have to contend with, and it doesn't feel good to say, right? It kind of sucks, but that's the reality, guys. That is the reality of the NCAA. You have to, if you want to make a huge push into the NCAA tournament, and you're a mid-major, you have to schedule way more non-conference games. You have to. And yes, you can only play the teams that want to play you. However, you got to figure it out, because you're going to continue to get the wrong side of the stick, because these bigger conferences, they have a better net. They do. Even if they may have a worse record. So that's something to consider. I feel bad for Columbia. I have watched a lot of Columbia this year, and I am a huge fan of Columbia's women's basketball team. Huge fan. And I'm bummed. I am bummed that they will likely not be in the NCAA tournament. But the reality is the reality, guys. It is what it is. I think, yes. Jaden says network. Yes. Get these other programs to play you. And so you can have a better record going forward, right? That's a thing. Goodness Rated says that was like a whole dissertation. Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for Columbia, but I mean, this is the plight of all mid-majors for the most part. It just is. If Fairfield wouldn't have got that conference tournament win, I really don't know if they would be in the NCAA tournament. Yeah, sure, they're top 25 in the country, but I think they really got that because of the resume push that they did at the end of the year. And maybe Columbia was like, oh, it worked for them, maybe it'll work for us. But we'll see. I don't think so though. I really don't think so. Shout out to Aubrey. Thank you so much, Aubrey, for the super chat. Aubrey says, I don't want South Carolina and LSU in the same region / bracket. Well, we'll see. Aubrey, yeah, it would be nice if they met in like the Final Four of the championship game or something like that. But yeah, not it would be good if they weren't in the same bracket. That dude right there says, I'm a diehard LSU fan, married to a South Carolina fan, but thank you for trying to keep the focus on other teams at NCAA. That's why your channel rocks. Thank you so much. Thank you, that dude right there. Thank you so much for the super chat, and thank you so much for the compliment. I appreciate it. Guys, if y'all could hit that like button, that would be freaking-tastic. We got a lot of people in the chat right now, which is just like crazy awesome. So I do appreciate all of y'all for rocking with me. If y'all are in the chat and you're like, actually, I can't post a comment. Well, the reason why you can't post a comment is because you are not subscribed to the channel. So once you hit that subscribe button, then you can post away till your heart is content. All right. So yeah, it is a lock for subscribers only to post in the comments. But yeah, if y'all want to comment, just post, hit that subscribe button. Doesn't take much of your time at all. Be quick and easy for you. All right. My girl says Notre Dame is going to surprise everyone. Maybe Final Four. Well, maybe. You know, love me some upsets. Now it wasn't just Columbia who had something to say about, had something to say to the NCAA. So I also wanted to point out what Coach Reed had to say for Jackson State. So Jackson State did win their conference, so they are going to the NCAA tournament. But Coach Reed is like, hold up. Y'all not just gonna put us against LSU. And so she had something to say, and I think she does have a point here. Now let's get into what Coach Reed had to say to the NCAA tournament. All right, let's play this, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
We have elevated the game in terms of HBCU, our women's basketball team. You know, we've had net rankings of 770s, 92. I mean, we've been playing good basketball. You know, we've been in big games, and you know, I'm just hoping now our program is respected. You know, where we don't have to come in at a 15 seed. It's a new day. You know, again, I said last time after we played LSU, the transfer portal even the playing field. And so we have those players on our team that's on the, you know, the Power 5 teams. And so I think, you know, give us a good seed and see what we can do.
Give us a good seed and see what we can do. Now, that is what Coach Tamika Reed had to say to the NCAA because, you know, Jackson State, yes, they do have an automatic seed, but also it's very likely that they will get the rough end of the stick and have, you know, be a 15 seed and go against a very, very, very tough squad. That's something that you have to contend with. And, you know, fair enough what Coach Reed had to say, but at the same time, it's sort of like, it's tough. It is absolutely tough because yes, sure, you cannot just always put some of these teams like a Jackson State at that 15 spot and have them basically play one game and be out because they're playing against a very, very, very tough squad. But it's sort of tough because it's like, okay, well, where do you put them and sort of how do you weigh that? Again, I think it has to do with, you know, you playing way more Power Fives. I think that's going to help. Yes, absolutely. Jackson State has done very well in the SWAC. Absolutely. And they deserve being in the NCAA tournament. But it's like if you don't want to just make it to the dance, if you actually want to like be competitive in the dance, I think you just need more in terms of games against Power 5 programs. Like I think you just do, because then you are like going to be seen as a team that is, they're not just a good team in their conference. They're also a very good team in the nation, right? So I think you need to play a little bit more in terms of non-conference teams, because I just think I feel like it just sort of tells the story a little bit more, and it allows. I feel like it forces the committee's hand, I think, to give you a better seed. But I feel for Jackson State, like I do, like because you put out a good body of work, and you want to be rewarded for that. Not just rewarded in terms of making it to the tournament, because they did that on their own. It's about just doing a little bit more to unequivocally, that's the word, right? That's the word, right? Unequivocally, make yourself known as a top team in the country. Hey, Jackson State, even if they are at a number 15 spot, they can still get their competition. Because as I always say, anybody can get got. And can y'all imagine Jackson State coming from the SWAC, giving the business to the team they play in the first round? Like, anything can happen. It's March, y'all. Anything can happen. And I will be so down for that. Extremely down for that. All right, I do also want to just shout out the Big 12. The Big 12 conference is, they're the only conference in women's basketball that had all of the teams in the conference rank in the top 100 for net rankings. I mean, I don't know. I thought it was kind of fun. I thought it was something I didn't know. I didn't realize that all of the Big 12 was top 100 in the net ratings. So I thought that was kind of cool. So I did just want to like briefly mention that. I did see people talking about Elizabeth Kitley in the chat. Kitley is not she's I believe they had her still listed as questionable for Elizabeth Kitley. So, I don't really think she's going to play in the NCAA tournament. Like I feel like it's going to be difficult to imagine her playing. So we'll see. I mean, Virginia Tech is still kind of keeping it close to the vest, right? On the status of Elizabeth Kitley. So, that's something to note. Yeah. So likely we won't see her, but they're keeping it close to the vest, and they haven't announced anything as of yet. But if she was going to play early on in the NCAA tournament, we probably already would have seen it. Shout out to Officer Davis for the super chat. I really do appreciate that, Officer Davis. Officer Davis says, "Hey, Quita / awesome people of the internet. Let's get these brackets ready." Yes. Officer Davis, have you made your bracket yet? We're participating in the ESPN bracket. What I forgot the official name of it. Anyway, it's I posted the link in the chat earlier. It's on my communities page. If y'all have not joined, please join. We're gonna have a good time. The brackets you'll officially start to be able to fill out the brackets after the reveal is made for all the teams that are going to be participating. So you all want to make sure you all do that because bragging rights are up for grabs, and also there will be some merch up for grabs as well. So yeah. Aubrey, thanks so much for the super chat. Aubrey says Jackson State almost beat LSU 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah, and it can happen. It can happen again. And not only can they almost beat them, they could beat somebody. They could be a top team in the NCAA tournament. You never know. You never know. People can show up and show out. Michaela says people brackets are going to be messed up by the second round. Yeah. I agree. Montrell says, did she freeze? Did I freeze? Am I still here, guys? Let me know if I'm still here. Let's see what y'all have to say. Queen says conference realignment wouldn't be a bad. I think you're trying to say it wouldn't be a bad look. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Kyra says, you know what they say, never leave it to the judges. Facts. I think it's important for these mid-major programs. It's important for y'all to unequivocally write your story to where there is no way the committee could leave you off of the NCAA tournament, and there's no way that they could that they can give you a bad seating. Like I think, it's rough, for mid majors, and I feel for them. I really do. But it is what it is. It is what it is, and it's important for them to continue to do the great work that they're doing at these mid-major programs, because some of the best coaches in college are in the mid-major program coaches. Like some of the best coaches, like they do some great stuff, and I think it's important for us to recognize that. And eventually, if they're able to, am I still frozen? RC says, Quita, yes, you so cold, you froze, you're freezing with the women's basketball tapes you give us. Oh man. Carmela says, my Final Four is still TBD. It keeps changing. I mean, fair enough. I mean, that's the thing about the game, right? We're in March. We are in March. So everything is going to continue to change every single day because, we just don't know what we're going to see. We don't know because any team can get got. I'm keep saying this, guys. Anybody can get got. It don't matter who you are. Jackson State can get somebody. Drexel can get somebody. Who knows? Is it likely that they will? No. But at the same time, all it takes is the right team to show up on the right day. And you got a crazy recipe for amazingness. Like I'm just saying, guys. I am just saying. JB says Columbia's situation is the unfortunate reality for mid-major programs. I enjoy watching Columbia's team this year, but figured it would be an uphill battle for them by season's end to get a bid. Yeah. It's tough. It is absolutely tough for these programs to get a bid, and it is what it is. Aubrey said, hit that like and subscribe button, everyone. Yes, y'all, listen to Aubrey. Aubrey know what she Aubrey know what's going on. Aubrey know what is going on. I did see somewhere, I can't find it anymore. I briefly saw a question about when the games start. So the first 4 games of the NCAA tournament will be on March the 20th. And the first round starts on March the 22nd. So hopefully that is helpful for whoever it is that asked that question. I cannot find that. That chat anymore. Ella says, you even think South Carolina can get got? Yes, absolutely. Yes. Yes, Ella. South Carolina can get got. They almost got. Like if it wasn't for Camila Cardoso hitting that wild three and the bad defensive formation from Tennessee, South Carolina would have got to Tennessee. Yes, South Carolina can get got. They are humans after all, right? They're not robots who play absolutely perfectly every single time. Any team, don't matter who you are, can get got. Any team. Now, I do want us to take a look at we saw earlier the top four out, last four in, that type of thing already. But I did want us to also just take a look at the other things that are happening in women's college basketball. So yes, we absolutely have a great opportunity to watch some phenomenal basketball over the next couple of weeks. And it's not just that, right? We also have a great opportunity to really be able to dive further into the different narratives of some of these players, right? We're going to learn a lot more about these players. As we go through the tournament, we're going to see reporting where they're going to give in-depth insights into what's going on with some of these players that we didn't know about, right? We are also, for the first time ever, that I believe, we are going to have Holly Rowe as a reporter for one player, for Caitlin Clark. So that is something that is going to be brand new, that we are going to see for the NCAA tournament, which is, we'll see how it goes. I've never seen a one reporter just sort of like be focused on, well, I have seen it, like when LeBron, like there's, like when LeBron was going to the NBA and whatnot, there was like dedicated reporters that were like following him and his beat and whatnot. So that's not unheard of, but in the women's game, that is kind of unheard of. So, we're doing some new things, in the world of women's basketball. So, I know a lot of people are very upset about it and whatnot, but I'ma just say this. Caitlin Clark has brought in some huge numbers. And they're trying to take advantage of it, right? ESPN is trying to take advantage of it by having a dedicated reporter that's just following her and chronicling her time in the NCAA championship. Now, a thing to remember, guys, a thing to remember for those who are like, this is so unnecessary and blah blah blah. Like, okay. Maybe, fair point. But also, just keep this in mind. If y'all remember the Big Ten championship game that happened, the game was on CBS, and this game averaged more than 3 million viewers and peaked at 4.450 million viewers in overtime. And this was the most watched basketball game of the day on any network, and the most watched women's college basketball game on CBS in 25 years. So the numbers are the numbers, guys. I mean, that is why she is getting the attention that she's getting, because she brings in the numbers. And ESPN's a business. They're a business that wants to make money. When they see someone talk about Caitlin Clark, they see their numbers spike. When they see Caitlin Clark playing in the game, they see their numbers spike. When they randomly mention Caitlin Clark on SportsCenter and whatnot, they see their numbers spike. Even on YouTube, when they post stuff about Caitlin Clark, it goes up. Like, so it makes sense. It makes sense that she has a dedicated reporter. I mean, regardless if you don't like it or not. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. I really like I've seen so many people online so upset about this, and I I'm just like, well, you can't deny the numbers. Numbers don't lie, guys. Numbers don't lie, you know? So, she's going to have her own dedicated reporter, and I guarantee you, ESPN is going to make that money back from the money that they are paying Holly Rowe to just follow around Caitlin Clark. They're going to make that money back and more. Like, I'm just saying. I'm just saying, they're going to get a return on their investment and their company. So it makes sense. It makes sense to me. LSU Tiger 2 says they are overdoing it though. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But at the same time, I mean, I get it. It's a business. It's a business play. It's a money play. So yeah. Jeremy says, does Caitlin need a championship to further validate her college career, or has her impact been enough? I think it's been enough. I mean, I don't think she needs sure, having a championship would be absolutely great, but she has solidified her impact on women's college basketball with or without a championship. Michaela says, I don't know why people are upset. It's a smart business decision. I mean, I agree. I mean, yeah, I agree, Michaela. Like it just, it just is. She brings in numbers. Like you look at every single game this season, she's sold out just about every single one. Prices through the roof for all the games. Big Ten Conference tournament sold out fast, lickety split. It's not, sure, absolutely, Caitlin Clark is very talented. But to me, it goes beyond talent. It's people like her. It's clear that people like watching her play. And, it brings in the numbers. And if, I think absolutely other players can get that and more in the future. Absolutely. Could I see Juju Watkins getting her own reporter in the future? Probably. Probably. Could I see Hannah and others getting this sort of treatment in the future? Probably. I mean, it's all about players building up a personal fan base. So, Reggie says the part no one mentions is because she's a white face. I mean, I personally don't think so. I mean, there's been a lot of other white people who have played women's college basketball and have not gotten the attention that Caitlin Clark has gotten. She is special. She is unique. It's not about her being a white face. Like I don't agree with that. I don't. And maybe I'm crazy, and maybe I can't acknowledge reality, or like whatever that people want to say when people say that. But what other white player has had the same amount of attention as Caitlin Clark? None. Like you can talk about all the big name white players that have existed in women's college basketball. They haven't gotten the level of love and support and all this stuff that Caitlin Clark has gotten. She is one of one. I don't believe this has anything to do with race. I don't. And I know some of y'all are gonna really get in on me, but it is what it is. I'll stand on that. I'll take it. But I think I don't think it really does have anything to do with race. I think Caitlin Clark is just a generational talent. She's just different. She just is. Thick vegan afro says, Quita, don't let these crabs have you become the bitter black girl only reporting on black female players. I report on everybody. I do. I don't care what anybody's race is. I don't. Like, I feel like, I don't know, like, it becomes annoying when literally every time everything is about race. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't. I just want to watch some great basketball and I want to talk about it. That's all. That's all I want. You know. Hey, Deborah says I'm delusional. I don't know. Maybe I'm delusional. I don't know, Deborah. Maybe you're right. That's just what I think. I don't Deborah says, you're delusional, Quita. It's definitely about race. Aaliyah Boston deserves all the attention last year, but the media pushed Caitlin Clark. I don't think it's because of I don't think it's a race thing, because if that was the whole thing, then I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I just think it's too much, where anytime we feel like a black player doesn't get as much attention as a white player, then it's always about race. So I'm just, Anyway, we are talking about Selection Sunday. We're going to move on. I mean, if y'all think I'm crazy or whatever, sorry. I don't know. I don't know what to tell y'all. I say what I believe, and, whatever. If you believe it's about race, then okay. Well, I don't, but let's we can agree to disagree, right? Can we agree to disagree? I think we can. But I appreciate your comments, Deborah. I appreciate everybody's comments. I mean, it is what it is. We can agree to disagree and still love and rock with women's basketball. All right, so now, guys, I do want to also talk a little bit about bracketology a little bit. So the ESPN, we kind of looked at some of the ratings rankings earlier today, and where at least Charlie Cream thinks that some of these players will fall. But I also want us to just take a look at where we're at now with the bracket. Again, before it's officially official. We'll find out in about a little bit less than 30 minutes now. But as a little bit of a speculation, we'll kind of take a look at what oh my goodness, can I talk? We'll take a look at what we have right now for the brackets. Now, in terms of the games that will be on March the 20th, we have 8 of those teams right now. Presbyterian, UT Martin, Sacred Heart, Holy Cross, Texas A&M, Marquette, Arizona, and Vandy. That's what Charlie Cream is assuming will be the games that is played. Those first 4 games that are played. All right, in the Albany 1 regional, we have South Carolina, Nebraska, Kansas, Utah, Richmond, Virginia Tech, Fairfield, Louisville, Auburn, Oregon State, Portland, North Carolina, Middle Tennessee, Ohio State, and Maine. In Portland 4, we see USC, UC Irvine, Iowa State, UNLV, Syracuse, Florida Gulf Coast, Indiana, Chattanooga, West Virginia, or I should properly say that, West Virginia. After I say that, I always want to just do the rest of it. I want to just keep the same. West Virginia, Green Bay, NC State, Kent State. Oh, that was so lame. But whatever. I'm going to keep going. Then we have Tennessee, Maryland, Texas, and Norfolk State. For Albany 2, we have Iowa, Florida State, Alabama, Oklahoma, South Dakota State, Colorado, Eastern Washington, Baylor, Texas A&M / Marquette, Notre Dame, Marshall, Ole Miss, Michigan, UCLA, and Rice. All right, and in the Portland regional, Portland 3, we have Stanford, Michigan State, Princeton, Kansas State, Drake, Gonzaga, Florida Baptist, Duke, UConn, Stony Brook, Creighton, Miami, LSU, and Jackson State. All right, so that is what we have. That is what we have as of right now. Again, this is all speculation because we will find out for sure how everything actually flows in about 20 minutes, y'all. I hope y'all are really excited because I am excited. Right after the special is over, y'all can catch me right back here. I believe I'll go live for the most part right after it's over, and we'll be able to talk about the results. We're gonna actually have some real results to talk about, and we're gonna talk about what we expect to actually happen in the NCAA tournament with a real bracket. So now that is what we're gonna do, guys. So I hope you all return right back here in about 2 hours time and join me for a continuation of our Selection Sunday check-in. I do want to shout out a super chat. Thank you so much to Bernie's Road Book Tour. All right. Bernie's Road Book Tour says, first of all, thank you so much for the super chat. They say, if Caitlin Clark starts wearing braids, long lashes, and nails, this conversation about her race would end because black people will say she's down for the cause. I don't agree with I don't agree with that at all. I'm sorry. I really do appreciate the super chat, but I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. No. I don't think her changing her appearance will. I don't even understand what that really means. Down for the cause. Like, I don't agree. But I do appreciate the super chat. But I disagree with your statement. Yeah. All right. I can't find it anymore. Somebody said oh, where'd it go? Jarbry says, are you showing the live reactions? As the special is happening, no. I will get copyrighted. So I'm not gonna share that live because ESPN's gonna get me and my channel's gonna get in trouble. So I'm not gonna do that. But right after it's over, I will be back here. Just sort of recapping everything. I'll have graphs. I'll have head-to-head matchups where we can like really compare and see how these teams are gonna do going against each other. I will have all the dates and whatnot for you. So yeah, we'll be back and we'll talk about some fantastic stuff as we get to it. And y'all can actually start working on y'all brackets as we are talking. Yes, Kyra, absolutely. Kyra says, enough race talk. The show has moved on. Thank you, Kyra. Oh my goodness. People can get really worked up. LSU Tiger 2, thank you so much for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. Says, my surprise number 1 seed is Texas, and Iowa will have the easiest bracket. Well, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We will see. I do think the way it's set up right now, for the again, this is the Charlie Cream version of Bracketology. The way it's set up now, Iowa does have a really easy or doable road to the NCAA tournament. Not easy. No team really has it easy. Doable, I should say. J Spot or J Boog says excited about these brackets. Yes, and also thank you so much for the super chat. I am very much excited for these brackets. I am like, this is what women's basketball is all about, man. Like we want that we want the funness. We want the funness of like anything can happen, and the fact that most likely whatever brackets we make is gonna be wrong. Like I have done brackets for a lot of years. I have never had 100%. I've never even had 90% on a bracket. So, we will see. DJ says, how close do you think the bracketology will be to the real bracket? I'm not sure. I'm not like a bracketology wizard. Like I want to be, and I'll try to be in the future, and like try to like make my own bracket and see what happens. But yeah, I'm not sure. Holly, thank you so much for the super chat. Holly says, happy Selection Sunday, awesome people of the internet. Yes, facts, Holly. Happy Selection Sunday. I do want to give a huge shout out. I do want to give a huge shout out to my mods, my awesome mods, JB and Kyra, doing a thing. I really do appreciate y'all. I do. I appreciate y'all so much. I really do. Y'all are keeping this chat in line, and I appreciate that. I really do. So shout out to JB and shout out to Kyra. Thank you so much, JR, for the super chat. JR says, Quita, love the work you do. Love the way you laugh. You can tell there is so much joy in what you do. You're my number one source for everything in women's basketball. Oh, that is so nice. Thank you. Thank you so much, JR, for saying that. That is huge praise, and I really do appreciate it. I do. Like, I have a lot of joy because I freaking love women's basketball. I love it. And like women's basketball is fun for me. It is. And so I don't take myself too seriously. I don't do that. I just want to have fun. I want to have fun and have a good time and talk with fellow awesome people of the internet who love some women's basketball. I understand that sometimes we may get bogged down in negative stuff and all this stuff, but like, y'all, at the end of the day, women's basketball is a joy to watch. It is a joy to watch. And this is a first world privilege that a lot of people in the world don't have. The ability to just sit back and not have to worry about all the stuff that's happening and just sit back and watch a game and enjoy it and cheer and all this other stuff. And I am very, very privileged to be able to enjoy women's basketball, and that is something that I absolutely acknowledge, right? And I don't take for granted. I really don't. Holly giving some love to JB and Kyra. Yes. Give some love to JB and Kyra. Yes. Yeah, J Boog. Shout out to the mods. Edwin says, are you doing a bracket group? I am. Yes. I posted in the chat earlier, but if for some reason you didn't see it, we are participating in ESPN's Women's Tournament Challenge. We have a group for the awesome people of the internet, Edwin, so hopefully you will be able to join that. I'm going to put it in the comments or in the chat, so hopefully you all can see it, but I would absolutely love for you all to join that. Frank, I didn't realize you were here. Frank, I told you miss your comments. Nah, I can't forget awesome person of the internet, Frank, man. I didn't forget about you, Frank. I didn't realize you were in the chat. I appreciate you. Shout out to Frank, Kyra, and JB for doing their thing in the chat. And if I miss it, I don't think any other mods are on right now. But if I'm missing you, then my bad. That is not my intention. Not my intention at all. What up, Honestly? Honestly says, what it do, Q and awesome people of the internet. All right, guys, we are T-minus 15 minutes away from finding out where things stand. Like, this is all the marbles. It's all coming down. It's all coming down to here. It's all coming down to here. Facts, JB. Facts. Yeah. Salute to Frank. Frank is so down. Frank is so down with the awesome people of the internet. Frank, he's so down that he changed his username. That is how down Frank is for the cause of women's basketball. All right. Lejeune says, Quita is the studio in the game. I am. I try to be. I mean, I've been following it for so long that I might as well be. All right, guys. Thank y'all so much for joining. I really do appreciate it. I hope that you all can catch me for the post game. It's not even a game. Post live show stream. We're gonna be right back here in a little bit less than 2 hours time to recap the actual completed brackets. All right. So that is what we're going to get into. I appreciate y'all so much for rocking with me. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Y'all, we have had a lot of y'all stay with the whole stream, and I appreciate that. I really do. I really appreciate that. Shout out to YouTube for the super chat. I really do appreciate that. Saying, go Hawkeyes, Caitlin Clark, and GOAT emoji. Thank you so much, YouTube, for the super chat. Ozzy says, oh man, hello, all of you awesome people of the internet. Well, hello to you too. Hello to you too. Amanda says, will you be attending any tournament games this year? I really wanted to. I really did. It's just not gonna work out. Unfortunate, but it's not gonna work out for me for this season. So I know I talked about going earlier in the year, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm going, and that was the intention, but it didn't work out. So bummer, but I will be covering it from here. And truly, my goal is to go, actually go to these games. I would absolutely love to go in person to the regional games, the Final Four games. That would be so fantastic, but not in the cards for this year. But hopefully next year, hopefully, we'll see. We'll see what can get worked out. We will see what can get worked out for the future. All right, guys. I will talk to y'all in just a bit. I will talk to y'all in just a bit, guys. Make sure to turn your TV, if you have ESPN, turn it to ESPN to watch the selection show. If you don't have ESPN and you can't watch it, no problem. Just join me right back here. And we will break it down, everything you need to know. So if you don't get a chance to watch it, it is okay. It is A-OK. Camarilla says, Quita girl, I'm trying to give you a sweet ticket for the semis, but you're not responding to your DM. How did you DM me? I try to look at my stuff. I don't know how I missed it. If you could, well, YouTube doesn't have DMs. So if you could, wait, I don't even think I have messages set up for Instagram. So I don't even know If you have DM me on Instagram, maybe that's why I didn't see it. I don't know. I got to figure out how to. Oh no, I don't have anything. Oh, yo, there was a whole section to Instagram that I wasn't seeing. Carmela, I just saw your DM on Instagram. I never looked at the right section. So Carmela, I am about to reply to you right now. Thank you so much for mentioning that, because I did not, I didn't, clearly, there was a whole nother section of messages that I have not seen. So I apologize, Carmela. Thank you so much for posting on here, because I would have never seen your message until like several months from now. And I'd been like, oh crap. So I just accepted. I'm about to reply to you, Carmela. Thank you so much. I will be in contact. Yeah, thanks for posting this, because there's a lot of other messages that I have not seen. Wow, I have missed out on so many messages from people from the last several weeks. I have a lot of missed messages. Wow, I thought I was good with technology, but clearly I'm behind on Instagram. Oh my goodness, I'm behind on Instagram. My handle is Quita Loves Sports on Instagram. If y'all want to follow me there. But shout out to the real one, Carmela. Thank you so much. I will for sure be in contact. Yeah, I just accepted your message. And for the other people who have messaged me on Instagram and have not seen me accept the message or anything, that's because I didn't see it. I'm sorry. I am looking at this stuff now. There was a whole nother section of messages that I didn't see. So I'm about to I'm about to I'm about to accept all y'all messages. I'm sorry. I gotta change these settings, man, so I can actually see them. Like it's because it has people who are not who I'm not following. I guess it put them in a different section, and I didn't see it. So shout out to Carmela. Anyway, guys, I will be back. I will be back right after this. So guys, I will talk to y'all soon, and we gonna talk about this whole thing. We gonna talk about this whole thing. What's going on? I am not staying on. I am about to hop off, and in 5 minutes we have the special starting on ESPN. So if y'all don't have ESPN, don't worry, we will be back. Cammy, I'm looking at your message right now. I think I just accepted your message, actually. I'm sorry. I didn't see it. I did not see it. Good idea, Carmela. Yes, good idea. Good idea. Good idea. All right. But yeah, I will, from now on, I will make sure to check this special section of my messages. Thank you, Carmela. I appreciate you. I will reply to your message in just a hot sec. All right, guys. I will talk to y'all in about an hour and a half. All right, let's go. Selection Sunday. Let's do it. All right, guys. Until next time. Bye, y'all.